Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and we got Kurama SD, who just recently released an album this month. So say hi, Kurama. How are you doing today?
Hello, everyone. I'm good and chilling.
Now, Kurama, what made you decide on your name that you have right now?
My name,
Yes.
um, well, originally I went under the name SD, which is my initials. Um, and I was like, SD isn't very searchable on its own. It usually just goes to SD cards and shit. So I just decided to put something there. And I had recently watched the anime Naruto. It was my first ever anime I watched. So I just decided to, Kurama sounds pretty cool. And then Kurama SD, it kind of like fit like what I was going for, especially at the time because I had that whole different character I was playing, anti SD, with Kurama and Naruto, so it kind of worked.
That's cool. I'm glad that you're able to settle on the name that you're comfortable with. So, who are your biggest influences and inspirations when it comes to making music?
So I guess I'll start with my initial influences. What influenced me to get into making music as was so the main person was NF because I just like found him from the song How Could You Leave Us, and I was like, oh, that's pretty emotional. I don't really like that stuff. And then I just continued to listen to him, finding even more artists like him, more rappers like him. And then I was eventually like, I kind of want to make music myself with meaning and stuff. So I decided to start fucking SD and started rapping, well, more talking over fucking beats, because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing back then. So I just started doing that, writing shit that didn't rhyme, and yeah. As far as like now influences, like how I got like to where I am now, I would say my biggest influence is Ninetales slash Sewerperson because like he really was the person that inspired me to like start doing more alternative emo rap kind of stuff. Because I did hear Lil Peep beforehand, but he didn't really like make me want to go in that direction. I just thought his music was good, but like when I heard Nine Tails Plus Sewerperson, that was like when I really wanted to go into the emo rap kind of alternative direction. And so Haywog. It just inspires me to do a lot more the more breathy kind of, I don't know, like vocals, I guess. And just so we don't go too long, Skelly just like inspires me to try and sing better overall. And then final one I'm gonna say is Rory 404. He definitely inspired me to make that rock song I made with Yokai.
Alright, that's good knowing all your influences. You basically answered two questions in one because you answered my next question within the question. So, the actual next question is, what song are you most proud of in your career and why?
Huh. That that's like a hard one for me because there's a lot of songs that I could like say because like my career kind of like goes when like each part of my career has a different song that hell. The reason why hell is, I don't know, it just feels like the most like complete song to me. like the most like the vibe is like it has the actual total vibe there, just like the dark atmospheric thing, and the beat really fits what I'm talking about in it. Number one song for that.
All right, yeah, Hell is a pretty good track. I mean, I was surprised when it all came together. It all sounded really well. It's got the consistent flow and everything. So this is something I haven't actually asked you yet at all in any form. I don't believe. Is that have you ever met another musician you've collabed with in real life, or has it always just been online?
Um, no, I've never met someone in real life that I actually collabed with on a track officially. Like I did have plans with one of my friends at the time from school to like make a song with him back then, but we never really got around to it. He was kind of busy and had like a very like different recording situation. Like he would only record when he went to his one friend's house that had like all the stuff he would need to record. So
Yeah. Well, I hope eventually you're able to meet your collaborators because you've collabed with a lot more people since I met you.
yeah,
So, Christmas Party was like one of your first bigger songs. So what were you going for when you made that song? Like, what was your intention other than it being a Nine Tails remix?
um, well, back then I used to like write lyrics just randomly, like on my phone while I was out. I was bored sitting in the car, so I just decided to start writing some shit. And then I was like, started typing down lyrics. Originally, it wasn't even gonna be Nine Tails related at all, to be honest. Like, I didn't pick out a beat or nothing. I was just like, it technically had a reference to Christmas Party, but it wasn't like the full on chorus. It was its own thing. But then when I actually got down to recording it, I was like, I don't really. I picked out the idealism because I just liked it. I wanted to record on it. It wasn't directly trying to be like Nine Tails. It was tried doing the chorus I wrote. That shit did not work at all. Then when I like just randomly started singing fucking this December Christmas party, it just like all fit perfectly, and I found it kind of a little bit unique of the way I did it. So kind of like that. The verse basically just talks about how like I'm just disconnected from like my family because I barely speak to them, and even when I go over to like see them, it just doesn't feel the same. We don't feel as connected as we used to be.
Yeah, I never knew that about the chorus. I always thought the chorus was Christmas Party. It's cool to know that you used to have a different chorus, but sometimes things don't work out. I know that I've had that happen and that I've replaced verses or redid choruses, and it just ended up in a way better song than it was before. So I'm glad you're able to make that change for yourself. So one question is, how do you feel about having me mix for you? And like, what's the biggest change about your music afterwards?
So I'll just give like a brief like backstory of like why I you started mixing for me. The original reason was like one day you were like you just wanted to try and make something for me because you were just bored or something like that. So I like sent you the vocals for breaking down, but I didn't do it in the usual way. I just sent all the vocals in one thing. And then when you mixed it, I was like, I was kind of like iffy about it at first because just I wanted to like separate the vocals because it would sound better. But then like I showed it to Akira, right? He was all like, "Yo, this is your best song, Kurama," and I'm just like, "Okay." So yeah, and another reason was because I realized with Akira is that uh he had been taking so long to like mix give me a reason already. So I was like, I'm gonna need somebody else to fucking mix, or else this project gonna take fucking months on it. So I just decided you said you were down to like mix for me, so I just took the offer up, and it just ended up being really good. I'd say the biggest change is just like I feel more confident in like actually doing certain vocals, and like I don't know, I just learned more by hearing myself mixed compared to after. I don't know, something like that.
Well, I'm glad it's changed for the better for you. And I originally didn't include this question, but I just thought of it right now. Uh, do you ever like do anything before recording or during recording that makes it easier for you to record? Like even if it's like drinking
Um
water or anything, just
Okay, so definitely drinking water, especially because sometimes I record right when I wake up, so my throat's already dry, so I have to down the whole fucking bottle of water, and like, and like I also kind of lick all around my mouth so I get, make it less dry. Another thing is I do the obvious fucking thing we all do, me, you, and Akira, like the bzzz thing.
we
And
tiny
I
kind
just,
of do that.
yeah, yeah, you did. And it really does help. It helps clear up my throat. I also like kind of, I don't know, like yak. Oh, like, like if your throat's a little bit like
Yeah, I
stuffed
know what
up,
you
I
mean.
use it. If I'm just gonna like record like a specific type of vocal, hum it out instead, and then I'll go straight into the recording afterwards.
Yeah, that does help sometimes. It helps you come up with something quicker than you think. I haven't done that too often, but the times I have done it, that's helped as well. So what made you record your first ever song that you did?
Uh, oh, it cut out that one part. What did you say?
What made you record your first ever song that you did?
Oh, my first ever song. Are we talking like Kurama SD
We could go
year
all the way
or
back,
like?
but if you want to just
Okay,
take Karama, it's fine.
I'll do both. Okay, so the main thing that made me like record my first ever song, it was the shittiest song I ever fucking made in my life, but
Well, I mean, that's a lot of people's
I
first songs.
literally, I had my phone with the screen record. You could barely even hear me in the song. That's how bad it fucking was. Record myself freestyling some random ass shit, and then yeah, boom, there's the song done. But guess like the first ever song I recorded when I became Kurama SD was actually No Reason. Technically, it was still in the like middle period while I was named Ghost SD, because originally it was gonna be Ghost SD, but then I realized other people had that name, and it just didn't work out. So No Reason was technically my first ever song as Kurama SD, and reason I recorded that was I was just like I wanted to make like something less sad related and more of a banger. So I was just like, let me record a hype rap song. And yeah, that's what happened.
crazy. I mean, yeah, sometimes you get in the mood for that type of thing. So speaking of like your older days, would you have any advice for anyone that's first starting music that to avoid or to do?
Um, I guess like something I realized while I was going on is why people say this, but it is true. Just like they'll just do something because it's like trendy or whatever. Just it's like you don't want to necessarily blow up the minute you fucking start making music because you're not gonna be that good at it at first unless you're like a secret fucking talent, but that's pretty rare. Have more confidence in yourself. I know it's hard at first, but like the words like you mean them. That will definitely help with the confidence boosting because if you just like forget all the other bullshit and just like use your raw emotion, and that will help you get more confident in your delivery.
All right, yeah, that's some pretty good advice, especially with the confidence because I know when you're not really that confident in your vocals, sometimes that doesn't not just lets you just I don't know how to explain it, but you know when you don't record with confidence. It just doesn't sound genuine at first, but it's not just with that. It can also sometimes make you a bit more off key than you think. Even when you think you're off key, when you're confident, sometimes you end up being even more on key. So, yeah. What you used to have people in school that listened to your music. What was like your favorite memory back in school that revolved around your music?
All right, so this was a pretty funny one, but it was like fun as fuck. Okay, so I actually mentioned this in my song "Memories of the Past," but the rap battle thing. Okay, so it was like an off like kind of thing going in English class because like our teacher didn't assign us anything to do, and she was pretty chill as it was. Like gave us more freedom than most teachers. So we just decided to start doing a fucking rap battle. Like they called me over and be like, Sebastian, let's do a rap battle. It was me and two other people, but it was mainly me and this one person named Fu. That was his nickname, and like we we were rapping together over like just the most random beats, and I remember one time I actually spit kind of like bars over the beat, and I was like, "What the hell?" And then this one girl came in, and when we were playing the beat, she started to, like sing over it. It was funny.
Oh my god, it's always funny to see that happen because it's sometimes shocking when you're like watching rap battles and there's just all of a sudden a singer. It can be nice when it's funny.
Yeah, it was a very fun time. Just it was a freestyle, so it was less pressure than actual music making because you could just like do whatever and it would be like chill. But yeah, that's like the one great memory I had. The other music memories was literally just me fucking walking around in high school and some motherfuckers be all pulling up saying like, "Yo, Sebastian, you freestyle for us and shit." Like I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, people even when I barely made music and people knew I made music, but I never showed it to them. A lot of people wanted me to freestyle, but always been horrible at freestyling because I never was like a true rapper. If I ever rapped, I'd do meme rap back then. So when it came to freestyling, I don't know why people thought I was capable. I guess it's because I could rap fast, but I can't think of words fast.
Yeah. I've never been able to do like fast rap for the most part. I think the fastest I've rapped is actually in my song Iced Hearts for the first verse.
So, this is a bit difficult of a question. Maybe not, because you do have typical ones. Who was your favorite producer to work with on on just your tracks overall? Like, could be multiple, but who's like your favorite, like your go-to producer, basically?
Mm. Okay, so back then, like all the way back when I first started making music, I used to go with Jerv a lot, or however he say his name. But like his piano beats, like the sad piano beats, like really hit back then. I was trying to make songs, but when you around the time you started mixing me, Afterlife used to be my go-to producer. But now I would Boy 50 just because I don't know the way he does the beats. Like not all of his beats like hit for me, but like a lot of them just like capture how I like feel, and I like to listen to a lot of songs produced by him. As that sounds.
Yeah, that's fair. We also made a track on a Boy 50 beat, technically, which is not.
Every day I'm losing space.
That's also gonna have a video out soon, hopefully. By the way, it's finished. We just need to edit it. But yeah.
Yeah.
So you started making music videos back then as well. I was just wondering what was your favorite that you've done or have the most memory of doing, either one or both.
Okay, so the thing about the music videos is we were watching them fucking yesterday morning at this point, but like they're just like so funny to look back on because they're just like the most random shit. Okay, so back then I used to like say the funniest fucking moment for me back then was the beginning of the Ghost music video from like when I was under SD. Um, because literally it was just I told my two friends to like act out a scene for me to record for the video because they wanted to be in the video. My one friend Griffin like going up to a locker and like pretending to try and open it, and then my other friend Evan like he go up and like fucking try and press the motherfucker on the video. But the video that just had the most like work put into it and like the most different scenes, I would say, is the "I'm Jealous and I Hate Myself" music video, because you just see a lot of different things happen in it. There's the fucking bleachers outside, walking with my gloves and hat on, to me laying on some big ass mat in the middle of the field, staring off at the sky. Then you have me in my room. I just think that's like my most creative video as far as like different imagery and different things in it.
Yeah, I can see that. It's always good when you're able to capture your vision or do more than what your vision implies when it comes to making content like that. So in terms of the music scene, who has been your friend like the longest that you've known that still is around today?
I would say one person, but we barely speak anymore, so I don't really want to say. Music friend. I would actually say Akira, because I didn't really talk. Like, there was only one person from the music scene that I talked to before, but we're barely friends anymore, so we count him. Kira was like the real first one I interacted with, and like he's what made me join more music servers and made me find more people. You I'm just gonna give a brief summary of it, since like if you want to know the full story, you can go to the Cure Doves interview I did,
Yes.
my channel.
Go check that
Uh,
out.
and so yeah, we met Halloween, funnily enough, because Sewerperson was showing like Swamp 2 snippets in the VC, and like then Dead Boy Mike gave a shout out to Akira Dubs, saying go check him out. So I did, like 6 a.m. in the morning, and I was like, yo, this music's fire as fuck. So like, then I'll go back to the Sewerperson Discord just to see like how things are. I scroll down and see the motherfuckers in the VC with Mace, which I didn't know that was Mace at the time, but it was Mace. They were chatting, but Mace was chatting through text and not like physical, like through voice. But and then yeah, we just kind of bonded over the next few days. I never regret like meeting Akira, because like he is the main reason I'm even at the point I am right now.
Yeah, meeting Akira was meaningful to me too, but I think I stated it a bit in the interview, and I'm not trying to drag this on, so I'm not gonna tell my story. But yeah, he's been a person in my life for a while. But speaking of Akira, uh, is the podcast ever coming back? Do you think it'll ever make a return?
Huh. The thing about the podcast, I would say, is I've talked to him a couple of times about it. Like, he always says, like, we could do it. But then, see, the thing is, life just kind of gets in the way. Really chaotic. We couldn't really do much stuff. Even now, he has his own kind of job coming up, so I'm barely ever awake around the time he is. So most likely not, at least for a long while. I mean, I could continue the podcast, like just myself. It just wouldn't be the same, so that's why I haven't done anything about it. I hope one day it comes back, but I understand he has his own life now, so that's all his thing.
Okay, so I was wondering if your reactions that you do on your channel, do they ever inspire you to make a song yourself, like after you react to something?
Huh. See, I need to try and remember, because like I know fucking some of the songs I reacted to have inspired me to do some a song. Okay, so the most prominent example I can think of, like straight off the top of my head, is Rory 404 Heal, that song. That's what inspired me to make Battles I Can't Win, actually. It's funny because it's not actually produced by Grace, guys. It's produced by someone named Grievances. So it's kind of funny that I use the Grace guy's beat, but the beats is so fire, honestly.
Yeah, Rory's always got some banger beats and banger vocals for them. He's always been outputting some really hard stuff recently. He's worked pretty hard. It was cool meeting him back then, like last year, but I'm not gonna get into all that. But that was just a good time of my life, and it's cool that I've seen Rory get to the point he does. And speaking of other artists, like, what would be your dream collaboration to do like ever?
Dream collaboration. Well, there's this very obvious person I would have to say, Sewerperson would be one of my dream collabs. Like, just because he's inspired me so much, and I feel like, well, I'm definitely nowhere like similar to him. I feel like as far as like the ranges go, I feel like we have like kind of a similar range, like barely, but a little bit. how our voices can go, like lows, highs, and stuff. But I still haven't developed my voice, so I can't really tell that for sure yet. But the next one would be Haylog, because Haylog just inspires me in general because he has such a, I would say, one of the most unique sounds in the scene. Well, it's not for everyone, obviously. I really like it because I love acoustic kind of tracks, so like he makes a good amount of those, so it really fits. And yeah, so breakdowns, I fucking love build-ups and breakdowns and songs. That's one of my favorite things. And for the final person, I would say Rory 404, to be honest. I don't know, like, just he's just so versatile, like, as far as it goes. Like, I didn't even, like, I used to listen, like, back when I first found out, I was like, he makes, like, hyper pop stuff, and then, like, just was able to make a rock, and I was like, holy shit.
What I like about Rory is that his voice just like fits stuff that you'll never expect it to fit. You know, like sometimes it might sound a bit aggressive, like how Die does, for example. But there's just like this satisfaction to his voice that really fits. And with like Haylog, I can see why, because I mean you really like emotion as well, and out of a lot of artists that I listen to, Haylog is one of the most emotional sounding artists like in this genre at the moment. So yeah, and Sewerperson is always a nice pick as well because he's also really versatile if he tries. So
Yeah. Speaking of Sewerperson, fucking Comet 4 was actually a pretty good project overall. Like, I would actually say it's my second favorite Comet album, only being behind Comet 3.
that's cool. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good album as well. But what song has the most meaning to you that you've made? Like, not like your best song, but just like the most meaningful song that you've made.
Okay, so I can't pick which one, but I can tell you it's between two songs. Um, I won't be okay if you leave, and I want to be someone else. The reason why is for I won't be okay if you leave. It was made at a very difficult time, like because I won't say the situation, but something happened with one of me and Josh's friends, and I just was like totally just down after that, and I didn't know what the fuck to do. At the time, I was kind of like just lost. So I just decided I went to sleep at 8 a.m. that day, and I woke up later and was still sad as fuck. So I just decided I want to make a sad song. I want to make something to like really get out my emotions. And I just sat down, picked an idealism beat, and then started recording. And like there was like legit emotion straight out the gate. I didn't really have to like think about anything. It just happened. I just started singing. I wasn't trying to go for anything crazy. I was just trying to get out that emotion at the time. And it just felt good when it was done. I had I was like just talking to my boy Angels of Sorrows that night because like he was one of the people that was like I was just talking to, and like I felt comfortable like addressing the situation with him. But yeah, and then I was like, probably gonna be a few days before I get this mixed by Josh. But then he was like, well, I could mix it for you. And I'm just like, you know what, I just kind of want to get this song out. So I just gave him the vocals and stuff, and he mixed it. And the mix was actually pretty good for what I was going for with the song.
Yeah, it has like this like I know I know that it's not exactly the most vocally like amazing song, but with that song, like the off keyness at the off key parts, like they sound intentional because it sounds like more of an emotional song. Like it sounds like more of like a breakdown when you're hitting the notes in the song. So it does fit the beat really well and what you were going for. So I do actually really like that song.
Yeah, obviously, I just don't have the actual like ability to tell if I'm on key. So like, it it would like realistic. It is off key on accident, but it definitely sounds more on purpose because of the way it is. Yeah. Um, but as for just for, I'm gonna like summarize this. The other song, I want to be someone else. That song, it was made a week where I barely fucking was talking to anybody, to be honest. Like, I was just kind of alone during the nights. It was like the first week after like the first week Akira really stopped talking to us initially, and I was just alone. And then kind of like, I wish I was a different person. I wish I was different than I am, so I could make better music. But like, so I just made that song over another idealism. You can tell that idealism is like a go-to when I'm just sad. Fuck. But yeah, I made that song. Actually, was very emotional. Like in that song, I just don't know what to do. But yeah.
Yeah, I can tell the emotion, especially since I'd be the one mixing this one. When I heard the rawness of the vocals, I could tell this was a more sadder song than usual, and more emotional. It came out nicer. The first mix I didn't really like when I did it, but the secondary mix I do like it now. So I'm glad that I was able to change it this time around. And for the album questions, how did you decide on the title? Why do I even try?
So the reason. Okay, so I'm. Oh, have to actually explain why do I even try the song, because that basically gives why I chose the title. But so I've been having weird, very fucked up dreams for a while, and so I wanted to make a song just to like deal with that shit. Because when you just have repeated weird nightmare type dreams, you're just like, just kind of like, why the fuck do I even sleep and shit. Like, so I just wrote that song, the verse and stuff. Song is just about how, like, why do I continue like trying to sleep? Actually, like, it's not actually about like why do I even try in general. It's more about like why do I even try to sleep if this is all I fucking get.
Yeah, I get that.
And as far as like the why it's the album title, I just feel like it fit the songs overall, because like each song kind of details like a different uh different issue of just life.
Yeah.
And like, why do I try all these different things when they never work out? But like, the thing is, even in why do I even try? I say, literally say the line, why do I even try despite everything in my life? Which means like I'm still trying regardless of even if I'm questioning it.
Yeah. That's good to know about the album. I never knew really any of those details. So, what kind of vibe were you exactly going for when you started to dive into this project? Because you just ended up deciding to create an album out of nowhere. I know that.
Yeah. So initially the process actually began like a month after my first album dropped, which is called For the Better. That project had technically been being made for like 2 years at that point. So I finally got that done. Saw some good things like constructive criticism that was good and stuff, everything. The song with Casper actually at the time, Messages I'm Ignoring. And I was like, I want to make another project, but I hadn't like fully developed the idea until like the end of March. I ended up making a lo-fi EP, but like after the lo-fi EP, I just wanted to like full force make a album, because the goal with this album wasn't trying to change the direction or style necessarily. Obviously, there were style changes and new styles I did, but it was literally just to have something to do, because I was pretty bored around the time usually. So I wanted something to focus on creatively. And also, when I made Hell, that's a song that actually made me want to do even the project in general, was because I wanted to follow kind of a theme for this album, which Hell, like, originally there was going to be a song before Hell called I Saw a Demon, because Aubie was trying to suggest that I should do another song in the same key as Hell. But like I just ended up scrapping it because I couldn't find a beat that I actually liked or like felt good with Hell. So I just made Hell the first track, and I feel like it really sets the tone for the first half of the album. It just like is very chaotic and dark.
Plus,
The first half
was nice, like for intro to the album as well, because it just kind of fades in and just hits right when it does, you know.
Yeah, and after that, like, so Hell was the first single, but it was like an unofficial first single because I didn't say it was the first single on my story or anything. I just kind of like collectively decided it was like the end of April, right, when I released Time Wasted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I dropped that, and the reason I decided to put it even on the project initially, because at that point I hadn't even worked on anything related to hyperpop at that point. I didn't even fucking started Ghost with NOKERB or anything. I just decided, I want to make a hyperpop song. So I decided to try that out. And when I look at the original version of it before it was sped up, it just does not sound that great actually. But now that the sped up version just worked, like I was like legit, this is my best song at the time, and just really fucked with it. This sounds like it would be good on the album, and I just feel like the artwork I selected for it was actually good artwork too. It had the vibe of like where you're reminiscing,
Yeah.
but you're like there's light on one side and darkness on the other. So
Do you believe that pushing back the album from August to September was a good idea for you personally?
yes and no. The reason why no is because I feel like it just dragged it out to a point. Some of the songs just like I didn't think held up as much as they could have if they were released earlier. Every Day I'm Losing Spaces is still a great song, but it would have been way better if it was released during the actual summertime.
Yeah, I get that.
And yes, because I feel like if I didn't obviously fucking thought it was over, it would have like never happened and be a part of the album, which was real, just a good song, just to like fade into Farewell, and just worked all together. So like, there were positives and negatives about it releasing in September.
Now, yeah, speaking of that, are there any songs like you regret releasing before the album came out? Like releases from the album but came out earlier? Are there any you wish you dropped with the album?
Okay, so there were like 4 singles from the album. Hell, It's Not Fair, Time Wasted, and Lonely Paradise. The only one I regret releasing before the album, and it's also partially why I regret releasing the album in late September, well, like later in September, is It's Not Fair with Epitome. Because the thing about that song is, one, it didn't do that well by itself as a single, and 2, I just feel like it sounded more like an album song than the single itself, to be honest. Album single straight after Lonely Paradise, it just didn't like work that well as a 4th single. Because Lonely Paradise was, 1, a whole different fucking vibe, and 2, it was like done later in the career. Like my vocals, I never fucking changed them, and It's Not Fair. Like the mixing for my vocals and my vocals themselves, they didn't really like change at all. Recorded like March, so I just feel like I developed more, and I should have changed something, but I just didn't feel like doing it.
You were wondering why you even try? I'm just kidding. Alright, so what is the funniest story you could tell about the process of one of the songs in the album? Any song, like, or just any interesting story if there's nothing funny about.
The song starts actually, because Iced Hearts, the fucking way the first verse came to be how it is, I was like getting feedback from one of these people I was talking to, and like I like sent him like a snippet of like what I was making for the first verse, and then he said, "You need to put more emotion into this," and then I got pissed off at he said, so I literally just fucking went full aggressive into the fucking mic. That's why weird in the song itself. It's because I was more up close with my mic and more aggressive, so it was louder, so it kind of like went straight into the mic rather than like being collective itself. Another funny story is actually Hell. Okay, so Hell is funny because I thought it was fucking terrible at the time. Like, I was like, what the fuck? It just sounds goofy as fucking shit. like the chorus and everything. And then like Josh was like telling me, yo, this could actually sound, this is pretty good. And then I was like, no way. I finally finished the song and sent it to get mixed, and then like I even watched them fucking like mix it. I actually watch him mix most songs, some I don't, because we don't have time to be in VC during that time. But the funniest part is actually at the time Josh literally could not like master anything back then. So he literally that was like the first song he actually mastered himself for me. Because he had like a free trial thing or something. Yeah, it was the first song he ever mastered himself, so I didn't have to wait for Akira to fucking master it for me. I make a joke about this because it's funny, not because I'm actually like mad or anything. It's like just sometimes he would just take forever with certain things, and it's just funny looking back on. You can tell the story you're thinking of if you want.
Well, you technically didn't cover it, but it's also about iced hearts. It's about empty, about how fast empty sent the feature.
Early, I was like taking a while to like make the song because I wanted to make it good. I still didn't even think it was that good at the time because I was convinced everything was just sounded off beat at the time. Like that's the thing is most fucking time I think shit's off beat, but then like other fucking people tell me the shit ain't off beat. What the hell are you talking about? So I finally sent her the like open, and then literally I come back like an hour or two after she sees the message, she sends back the feature, and it tells me on Instagram like, yo, I sent back the feature, let me know what you think about it. And then I'm like, huh, what? so I go listen to it, and I'm like, bruh, made this in 1 hour and 2 hours. What? This is fucking amazing. What the? Yeah. Just like perfectly fit what the song is. It's like an emotional vibe kind of song. It's kind of like similar to like Sewerperson's like Comet kind of vibes. I mean, it's Project Bari, so that's kind of with the whole thing. And he literally made the song over the beat itself. So, but just like it just like felt. I think it's one of my favorite choruses on the project is actually the Iced Hearts pickup part, and like it just sounds good. But yeah.
So, are you still satisfied with the way that Farewell came out with me?
Farewell. There's thing about Farewell is there's two sides to Farewell that like just are good and bad. To answer your immediate question, I am satisfied with it. Sometimes I do wish I didn't hold some notes as long as I did, because some parts the auto-tune really didn't do it like any favors for me. But like for the most part, I'm satisfied with it. Like it's good for what it is actually. Like I enjoy the song. It's just some parts like just make me like what the hell. But yeah, I think Josh is convinced that or at least the time that his part wasn't that great, but I think it's perfect for the song personally. Avi, I really like his part actually, especially now that the whole issue is fixed. Because like when we first released it, uh, it was like slightly, like a little bit offbeat, to say the least. So like Josh like messed around with it and eventually fixed it. So sounds better now. The second part about Farewell is not the creation, but the painful interactions to get the song done. So, Farewell was originally supposed to feature Akira and not Josh. To my knowledge, he was one, pretty busy, and two, he might not have liked the song. I don't know for sure. I still haven't even asked him what he thought, but I'll find that out.
I also
But
feel like he wasn't in the right headspace for that type of song either.
and 3B is just like it's hard for people to use, like, because it's not in any way like any type of traditional beat. It's like idealism, but without like a normal drums or like hi hats and stuff. Bobby, he's my boy, but yeah, it took him like a month and a half to finally get the feature done. I mean, I'm satisfied with it, but it was just funny because it's like it just took a while. And then the thing that pissed me off, and hey, if he does see this, I'm not trying to be anything towards you with this statement, but NOKERB did piss me off a little because he constantly bugged me about like when the fucking album is going to drop, and I'm just was kind of getting sick of it. Like, I get that you're excited for it and I'm happy about that, but it did just get a little bit annoying sometimes because like I don't know, I'm not in control of like what when people get their features done, okay?
Yeah, I get that. It can get annoying after a while. I mean, they don't mean to be annoying most of the time, but it happens. On the album, like, who was your favorite person to work with, and what was your favorite song on the album, whether it's the same or different?
Overall, Yokai, because he was very understandable. It was very understandable why he took some time with his verse. Like, I understood it. And also, he's like more. He's one of the more bigger artists on my album. So I was willing to like give leeway for stuff like that, and I understood his life situation at that time. So it's just like fun to work with because like he actually like told me low key that like when everything was mixed and everything, he thought like my part sounded really cool. He's just a very cool, kind guy from the little bit from like the conversations me and him have had. So like, and then like a second person would probably be Empty because like Empty was like right on it, like type shit, like literally 2 hours after it's done. I definitely will say that Josh is a third one because, like, for everything I'm losing space, like, one, it was done in a pretty timely manner, and two, it was just like a very fun song to like make
It
together.
was cool for me to make too because I've wanted to do stuff more along my mix that my lo-fi album went under. But I never really could come up with anything that I wanted to make truly like a full song. So having just a verse on a song like that kind of motivated me, and I liked my verse a lot on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you decided to perform one of your songs on the album one day, what do you think you'd have the most confidence in?
Um. Okay, so like probably I would say either Ghost or actually Ghost or Every Damn Losing Space. The reason why is because Ghost is like for like literally 15 seconds. I don't even have to fucking sing anything.
Yeah,
Because it literally just has a glitch ass effect. Like, I did put the lyrics in the description of that song if you do want to know what the fuck I said. But yeah, um, I thought it was a good choice though. It sounds pretty good. Uh, NOKERB did pretty good with the glitch effects. But so that song is just like it has high energy, but like it's not like too taxing to do, like type shit. And like I'm like not really that much on the song. Like I'm a decent amount, but I'm really in the only in the beginning, the verse, and the outro, and then like literally I could just like fucking dance on fucking stage while no curves part is playing. I don't even have and like do what other fucking people do, just yell like specific lyrics. And every day I'm losing space, it just would be a very chill fucking song to perform, and it would just be easy because I don't do anything crazy on it. It's just like very calm and like easy to do.
Yeah, that's fair. Last two things are like, are you ready for your future in music? And if you make it to a point that you get big, what is the first thing you have in mind to do?
Um. Okay, so I do plan to do music for the very least 3 to 5 more years. If it actually like, depending on life circumstances, of course, like that's why I'm only saying 3 to 5 years. But I do, if I do actually like get somewhere more with this music, actually start making music like on the level of like, let's say like, I don't know, Josh and Akira, like where it's on key and like actually has like really good rhythm and timing. Um I know how to mix and all that type of shit. Like then definitely I will actually like fully consider trying to actually perform if like myself. But two, it probably will start like making more professional like music videos, like actually getting people to film them and getting like shots rather and stuff, like just want to like upgrade myself if I ever get to a point where I'm actually making music like worth like going full in with. Obviously I'll get more songs on Spotify, but like I'm slowly getting more songs on Spotify. Like this is like the first time I'm gonna be buying a lease through Josh, with Josh's help. But yeah.
All right, so that pretty much concludes the interview. For one thing, though, if you want to give shout outs to people you can think of on the top of your head, and we'll just wrap it up from here.
Alright, so some quick shout outs I would just like to give